Alright everybody, welcome back to Game 2 of this best of 3. It's Vici Gaming versus LGD Gaming for WCA 2014. And, well, Vici Gaming, for those who missed it, I know there was a lot of other games going on, are currently leading this set 1-0. So with one more win, they will advance to the next round. And for those who are kind of trying to figure out where it is in the brackets, don't worry, Liquipedia has you covered. Although we don't have all the latest results from today, but what you need to know for now is that Vici Gaming will move on and play the winner of Cloud9 versus Malaysia, which, spoiler alert if you didn't watch it, cover your ears, was Cloud9 apparently. So that match will apparently happen directly after this one today. I'm not sure if the losers finals will be today or tomorrow. But anyway, with all that kind of, pre-talk out of the way, let's get into it. I'm LD, and I am joined here by Blitz. Blitz, last time around we saw Terrorblade last banned, virtually ignored, I believe, but this time around he's picked up in the first phase by LGD, so they go with a different game plan. And I don't have a Blitz.
Oh wait, I had my mic muted. He's much more of a split pusher.
Get your shit together.
Dude, I'm trying right now, man. My life's a mess. But he's gonna be kind of more stable, of a game plan. Whereas like their last game plan was kind of a little bit more all-in-ish. Terrorblade and Centaur as your first two picks opens up the field a little bit more for you in terms of you can go late game, you can go mid game. I mean, the thing is Terrorblade's not really weak in any phase of the game. Like maybe his laning, but Reflection is fantastic against offlaners. Metamorphosis plus like any stun will kill pretty much any hero in the early game, and you can take down towers, go for pushes, go late game. Like there's not really anything this hero doesn't do.
Yeah, the only area where he does struggle is that really low base HP pool early on. That's something that we have seen teams exploit and just gank the crap out of him early when he's sitting at like 400 HP, pressure him a lot in lane. Yeah, he hits really hard at Metamorphosis, but he's also very vulnerable to nuke damage. But if you don't pressure him early, well, then you've got to have some answers from later on, and that is certainly easier said than done. So they get the Centaur here for LGD. Probably going to be Angelai's offlaner that... I guess it's going to be a Sylar Terrorblade, it's looking like. I don't think I've actually seen them run this hero before. As for Vici, they also denied their Centaur Scarlet Mage duo, something that we saw was very effective in game number 1. So what do you go for instead? There's no Void either, so there's no like obvious partner for the Skywrath.
I mean, Death Prophet was banned. Like, all the heroes are... No, that's not true. I didn't even know what a good combo is aside from like the Void, the Centaur. I guess Sand King is... Oh, they took Sand King. Look at that.
Oh. Are you still lagging really bad?
No, it just like skipped for a second because I went to the library tab to see heroes. But then they picked it. Nice. I mean, it pairs like decently well because the Skywrath can kind of go and create space on the map, and the Sand King can just continuously like stack and pull and then get a really quick Blink Dagger, because you need to pressure the Terrorblade. Like, there's no way in hell that your strategy should be like, alright, we'll let that guy farm for like 20 minutes and then kind of do things around the map and hope for the best. Like, Sand King needs to get a Blink Dagger by like the 8-minute mark, and then you just have to go around the map doing as much as you possibly can within that span of time, to the point where if he doesn't have like a major item by 20 minutes, you can just go around like and open up the rest of the map for your team.
Gotcha.
He's not really going to provide too much.
Alright, well, we'll see if they follow that game plan. For now, LGD ban out Timbersaw, which I didn't think about it because the hero just has mostly been ignored, but it's an Ice specialty. I mean, the guy's got his own pro gear. By far the best Terrorblade set that I've seen, or Timbersaw set that I've seen, though. We have a new one, which some people did like, but...
Oh my gosh.
They took all the styles away, man. It's not
subtly plugging yourself at all times.
Yeah. I'm not even trying to. It just occurred to me, like, that's actually not true. There is another Timbersaw set that I've seen recently, but yeah, sellout mode, sellout boys. But yeah, it is great against the illusions. Was my point. All that pure damage just shreds them. So it just bans now. Is there any like carry that you could think of that can really effectively deal with the illusions, or do you just scrap that plan and solely just shut him down early, like you were kind of suggesting earlier?
I think you're okay right now with the type of supports that you have, and Dazzle actually the pickup for LGD. I think this is a pretty good counter because what Vici have right now is immediate burst before he can get the Sunder off. But if you have the Dazzle for the Grave, you can keep him alive just in time for him to Sunder, and that's pretty fantastic. Some of the heroes that can deal with that are Sven recently got a pretty big buff. Uh,
Yeah, Sven wouldn't be. I don't know if with the Wisp ban, maybe not a Sven, but
yeah, I mean, there's not really. I don't think with the current pool of supports that you have right now, Sven is the hero either. Maybe just something really tanky that can. Oh, they banned Razor. Never mind. I guess Zeus is the
oh,
hero.
the FY support Zeus. Is there any chance? Probably not. I guess it's probably a core Zeus. He ran as a support the other, like a couple weeks ago, man. It was
Yo,
amazing.
people have been running that in the C servers, like as a support Zeus. Like they did like an AM Zeus mid or something like that.
Dude, he was wrecking face because they had an invoker and they got good wards up. So he would just go around the map with a blink dagger, like one thunderbolt, sunstrike. If Shadow Demon's there to set up a disruption, that hero's just dead.
Yeah,
It
and
was,
you
it
can
was
also
incredible.
deward like for free early on in the game and
I'm
just like get free ganks.
I'm not sure who's going to be the core out of these though. Like you could see any of them play a core role. So though Skywrath and Sandkid are less common. But FY did, the last time they played Zeus, he did run it. What do you think's the reasoning for the Zeus pick? Is this just about the early pressure on the Terrorblade, a lot of nuke damage?
Yeah, the burst damage coupled with the Skywrath Mage, like you're gonna kill somebody with the Ancient Seal. Almost nobody can survive that, and it's just a good hero overall against the lineup that LGD have. Like pre BKB, pre Pipe, Zeus does really well against heroes like Terrorblade and the Centaur. Like Zeus can clear out the illusions that are pretty low HP early on with just the Arc Lightning and the Static Field. Like you get to find out which one the real one is really quickly. The ultimate is really good as well. I mean, Vici have the team fight in spades. They've got as the Thunder God's Wrath. You'll almost always get off no matter what. If Sand King gets his Blink Dagger, he should get his Epicenter for free as well. So I think that's kind of what the reasoning for the pick was.
Okay, well, Nyx Assassin's certainly a good hero to punish a lot of these Vici gaming heroes. 3 nukers, Mana Bird's going to be extremely effective. Carapace, great against the Sandstorm. Zeus, very just squishy in general and vulnerable to the Nyx ganks. It's a virtually forgotten hero, something that we see extremely rarely, and used to be one of the premier offlaners with that really high base regen, good armor, you get the poor man shield, you're pretty much invincible, and, well, it's the Elder Titan pickup. I have to ask, is there any chance of a Tinker here, do you think?
I don't think so. Not with the Zeus pickup.
LG actually banned Spectre. Okay, so they were thinking something different, but still a fairly global hero.
Yeah, I guess the Tinker would have been okay, but I don't know. I think especially with the nerf, it's difficult to secure his farm, and especially because they're on Radiant this game, right? Like maybe if they were Dire, I would say, because it's a lot easier to stack and do the camp safely.
Feature on Dire.
Oh, they are. Oh, then maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's flipped like that. That confused me. You would think that.
I still wish they would find a way to have it diagonal. Then there would be no confusion. But
Yeah.
I guess that's a UI nightmare for a
Yeah,
developer.
I don't think you take a Tinker though, especially not against a Nyx Assassin.
Okay,
They've already picked up the counter.
the reason I bring it up is that IG Rad and the Tinker Elder Titan after the patch.
Yeah, you can do the TP to the
To the spirit.
Ancestral Spirit.
It's very cute. But it was just awful. It took them so 430 was efficient. They actually started stacking the ancients, and I'm pretty sure someone on their team hadn't read the patch notes because it just came out in the middle of iLeague, and they stacked it once, and then they just stopped. And I'm pretty sure some of the team is like, "Dude, you can't do that anymore. It doesn't work."
Yeah,
So that was probably part of why they even picked it to begin with.
Yeah, they're not going to do that this time. That would be actually insane.
No.
But the TA's picked up as well, and TA just completely shits on Zeus in a one-on-one, I believe. It's going to be impossible to CS without using your Arc Lightning to just pick up like low HP kills, and you're never going to deny a TA.
To be fair, I will mention that Vici Gaming have kind of a game to give here. Not that you would draft it if you don't think it's going to work, but it's more room to experiment for sure. And
Yeah.
well,
I mean, somebody's going to die. Natural Order plus Ancient Seal and a Zeus. Like, somebody's going to go down instantly.
that Thunderbolt's going to hurt.
Yeah, it really is.
What is
Gonna
this
do, like,
final
600
pick?
of damage.
They feel like they just have a lot of ground to cover. All right, they'll go Slark, so they get something that can deal with Refraction with the Dark Pact. It's a hero that really matches up well against stat-based carries, and that certainly fits the profile of a Terrorblade. And it's a hero that gets aggressive pretty early, so it does kind of fit with their overall draft, and if they can manage to snowball anyone, be it the Sand King, the Slark, probably the two big ones, then this game could go well with Mystic Flare and Dark Pact. I'm not so sure Yao will have an easy time after the laning stage, but yeah, let's see how Vici Gaming look to lane this. It looks like it will be a Super Zeus. He normally heads mid for the team, and if it is that matchup, then like you said, he's just going to be sitting back and spamming Arc Lightning to get his farm early.
I think Yao, once he picks up a BKB, he's gonna go so ham on this game. Like, Skywrath has 1 armor or something stupid, even at high levels, and it's to support Skywrath on top of that. So it's not like you're gonna pick up like a Blink or a Force Staff at a reasonable time. He eats up Zeus. He does a ton of damage to the Elder Titan as well, who doesn't have the best stats overall. The Slark does pretty well against him, but even then in a man fight, the TA should be able to win. So I'm kind of curious to see how Vici decides to deal with that.
Yeah,
It's
they
gonna
don't
have to be 4 staffs aplenty.
Yeah, 4 staffs, or maybe if your Slark manages to farm like a lot of items and an Abyssal Blade in the mix there, or even a Basher, but that's not a game plan you want to count on, because at that point you're looking at a very farm Terrorblade, which is in Sylar's capable hands, and well, we'll have a pause as the game gets underway, hopefully a fairly short one. Let's not get the Coddle Guide treatment here. We will have at least one more best of 3, possibly 2 today, and with that, we'll run through the lineups very quickly. Sylar on the Terrorblade, heading towards the Dire Jungle early on. Looks like they want to shut down the Sand King. In July will be your Centaur War Runner. Momoya will be playing the support Nyx Assassin that puts Yao onto the solo mid TA, and it leaves Faith bringing up the rear as your Dazzle. So, is this what do you think with the Dazzle? Is this meant just to kind of deal with the Elder Titan, a counter to the Zeus, or a little bit of all?
I think it's so that no matter what happens, your Terrorblade can't get bursted down, and that he'll always be able to get the Sender off for free. Because there's a ton of burst damage on Vici's lineup, right? Like, if he gets Ancient Sealed in the early game, oh boy, like, things are going to kill him really quickly. But if you have the Dazzle with the heal and the Grave available, it's going to be difficult to close the distance and not, like, let him get a Sunder off.
Yeah, Terrorblade does generally get shit on by Elder Titan. That is for sure.
It's pretty ugly.
I think that's where the Dazzle can come in handy, though, with the bonus armor from Weave. So maybe that helps to compensate. I guess we'll find out.
I mean, I think it was an okay hero, but if that's a Nyx support, like, it's going to be difficult for him to do anything to pressure, because Dazzle's not the most offensive hero. And I think early levels, especially with Nyx, it's going to be difficult to roam against, like, the Slark. But I guess mid's a free kill anytime he catches the Zeus off guard.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's a Zeus in this game, man. It's never difficult to roam on this hero.
See, I'm thinking that Nyx pick and the Dazzle pick don't really synergize well together, but because it's a Zeus mid...
Look at him. He's just so pathetic.
Yeah,
He's a midget. He's slow. He's weak.
Ben really hates his model.
He's useless.
Like, he just thinks it doesn't look intimidating.
He looks like he's jacked, I suppose, but he's like a jacked midget. I don't know. It doesn't do it.
Dude, pound for pound, strongest hero in the game.
Yeah, but he doesn't weigh very many pounds.
I mean, that's how he's so strong.
It looks like everyone's disconnected. I'm actually not sure if they're... Okay, they have left the game. I'm always nervous about this. Well, whatever. We can just cast through Dota TV if they're not remaking, but it does seem like they're all leaving. So
yeah, they're piecing.
We'll wait for the remake. If there isn't a remake, we'll go back into Dota TV, and it's not like anyone can hear me anyway, thanks to Perfect Worlds.
Yeah, this isn't the Asian I understand, so I have no idea what they're saying, but judging by the fact that 10 people just disconnected, I think it's safe to leave.
So, how do you feel? Is Super Mario going to cut it this game against the Terrorblade?
I mean, the lineup looks awesome, like, in terms of just cool factor. Like, as weird as that sounds. I mean, the concept sounds awesome, right? Like, you get the Sand King stun, Ancient Seal, with the Elder Titan, negative armor, then you just blow somebody up with your ultimate. But I think the laning phase is where it's going to be difficult for them. Like, if Vici can outmaneuver, which they did last game, right? Like, I thought their laning phase was definitely a lot weaker, their heroes that they had. And it showed, but at the end of the game, it didn't matter at all.
I'm just talking to the... Well, I say I'm talking to the admins. I'm leaving a message in this mysterious black box of a discussion group where sometimes they They reply.
They decide to they grace you with a reply.
They reply like once a day randomly in like the middle of the day. They're like, "Oh, by the way, this guy's gonna give you passwords now," and it's like you've already had 3 best of 3s out of 4 on the day. Go.
At least that's something, man.
All right, I'm gonna go back into Dota TV. Oh no, okay, the lobby's gone now. Let's. Oh, it's up. It's up.
Okay, cool.
All right, just right when I was about to start watching Dota TV. You had one job, admin. Host the lobby quickly.
All right, I'm in here with you.
All right, stay close to me, Will.
What's going on? Like, why is this such a mess?
I think a lot of it is that it's a multi-game event, and so there's some you know, like you have like you're like constantly rotating different games on and off the stage. You've got to change your commentators. They had like, and the way the schedule works, it's not like you have one event, like one game in a block, and then you have another game. It's like constantly switching stages, constantly switching game titles. I mean, that said, it's a $500,000 prize pool event. Like, you would think that they'd put some thought into the planning organization, but having run a live event with no audience, I can say it is always harder than what it looks. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's disappointing to say the least.
Yeah, it's definitely not our fault, guys. You can blame us for a lot, but not this one.
Farticus is blaming us right now in the chat.
Yeah.
What a name.
They're gonna do that, man. Call guy says you can pay me $500,000 to cast this at LAN. Yeah, you definitely could, dude. For that kind of money, I would do a lot more disgusting stuff.
Yeah.
Just cast
Coddle Guy's a liar.
He really is. His name's Coddle Guy. Like that
And
guy
he doesn't
puts on
even
a
play
beard.
Coddle. Every time I watch, he's playing Earth Spirit. Get your name right, bro.
What a disgusting hero.
Apparently they fixed the bug with him finally, though, so...
One day this game will start, and we'll be on track again.
Well, until that day, Will.
What do we do, man? Do we tell stories or something?
No, we just sit here awkwardly and... I wait. Yeah, if you got stories, by all means.
I don't have any stories, man.
No? Nothing?
No.
What's it like having Ben living in the house? How's
what he
Marlene
does?
holding up?
He literally, this is like his 3-week vacation to play Path of Exile.
So is he not like he's not streaming? Is he playing a lot of pubs or is he reducing that?
He literally just likes Path of Exile. He's path
don't
rich,
tell
though.
don't tell the real Merlini police about that.
Yeah, should not be happy about that.
No.
He's got a ton of money though in Path of Exile. I don't know. There's nothing really interesting.
Can you cash out in that game? Like, you get anything
I don't
out
think.
of it?
I'm certain you could like somebody will buy your stuff.
With real money?
Yeah, like somebody will eventually buy your stuff, right? But that's with like any game. Like I could probably sell my Dota. No, I definitely couldn't sell my Dota account. I have like 0 items.
Yeah, because you have like 20 Smurf accounts.
No, I don't anymore. I only have 1, and I gave it away. I traded my Smurf for 5 cents.
Even
and a
your
promise
like
of a
quote
burger.
unquote real account isn't even your original Dota account. It's like
No, it's really not.
It's one.
It's like
It's
my
like your
fourth one.
20th Smurf that you finally just stopped constantly changing accounts.
Oh, I do have a story.
Okay. Yeah. Now that the game's loading, let's
I
just
just
tell
thought
the
of
story.
something.
Yeah, go for it.
So I was at the bathroom of the NSL arena, and they have like a picture of a wasp or something on the urinals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you ever seen that? It's like to help little kids like aim, right?
Oh, because they want to pee on the wasp.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it was a wasp. I'm not sure. But
Okay,
wasn't
if I
paying
saw a
attention.
wasp, let me say, I would not want to pee on it. I would want to zip up and run the hell away.
Yeah, exactly. So I was not paying attention, and there was somebody. Okay, I was on the. There's 3 stalls. I chose the one on the right. This guy decides to take the one in the middle, which makes absolutely no sense. Like, for one, oh, they accidentally hosted AP or CM again. What the hell?
Well, in theory, they might want to preserve the draft, but yeah. Anyway, don't ruin the story.
Whatever. Yeah, this is screw casting. So, anyways, so he takes the one in the middle, which is like it's his fault. I blame him for this point in this. Okay, so he takes the middle stall. I'm not paying attention. There's a wasp on the thing. I don't notice it until I look down, and then I freak out because I think there's a wasp, like dangerously close to my.
So you just
right?
start spraying wildly.
I just could not control anything. Like what's your reaction gonna be if you see a wasp there? You're gonna like. I got surprised. Like I'm the guy that got afraid watching Captain America because it was loud.
So you immediately pissed on your neighbor, is what you're
Really
saying.
did. I mean, he's Korean, so he's not gonna say shit. because Koreans are like.
He didn't say
unfailingly
anything?
polite. No, I just kind of like apologized in English and hoped that he would think I was just a foreigner, and then I just kind of like. There was no way to salvage that situation. Like, what am I gonna say? Like, sorry for peeing on you? I thought there was a real wasp in the bathroom.
No, just point at it and start like yelling excitedly and.
Like, what? How in a million years am I gonna logically explain to this perfect stranger that he should have peed in the middle stall and that there's a wasp in the bathroom? Like, at that point, there was no salvaging that.
I don't know, like your life is just not within the realm of like normal human experience.
Oh god,
How do these things happen?
No, because okay, like
I will say
picture of a wasp.
Well, I will also say who's that guy who takes the middle stall? Like, why do you
That's
take
what
the
I'm
middle
saying.
stall?
In my recollection of this memory, that's completely on him. If he wasn't in the middle stall, if he was on the far left one, it would have been perfectly fine. It would have been an awkward moment. We both could have laughed about it. Like, done.
Yeah, but he picked the middle stall, so.
That's why you never do
Lesson
that.
learned. If you pick the middle stall, you deserve to be peed on. Oh my. Alright, we're gonna get back into it now. Vici Gaming versus LGD. This is an AP remake, or a CM remake, but just a redraft of a previously done draft. And we're gonna see if the ZEEEUS pick works. I guess that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna look out for. In theory, that's what they are going for, right? It's the Skywrath, Sand King, Elder Titan, ZEEUS, ton of synergy behind that lineup. You could pretty much gank from wherever. I think that's the coolest part. Once Sand King gets a Blink Dagger, there's almost nowhere that's safe.
I love how we're trying to normally cast this game after that story. Alright, let's see
You
if...
told me to tell it. Like, that's the thing.
Focus.
You brought this on yourself.
Yeah, what, are you gonna pee on me now? You asked for this!
That was on him. Oh god, that was the most awkward moment of my entire life. Like, we just stood there for like a full like 2 seconds, and then I was like, I'm not gonna stay here for much longer.
Alright, let's introduce this game number 2. For those just joining us, VG Gaming is leading 1-0 the best of 3. MMY bought a TP scroll off the bat, and he's TP'd into this top lane to drop down some observer wards as quickly as possible. And with that, we'll get the team introductions underway. The boys in front are VG Gaming with Black playing the Slark this time around. FY will be handling your Sand King. Over in the jungle is Fenrir on the Skywrath Mage. Super your ZEEUS. Ice the Elder Titan, and it's actually a different movement from LGD. Last time, they did not go for this TP at all. And maybe it was just they were running around while they're lagging and expecting a remake, but they were like planning to run up this ramp directly where Vici Gaming are camping and go for some wards that way. So they're not going to be able to block off the big Sand King stack camp. And well, for LGD, Momoya, MMY will be your Nyx Assassin. Angelai handling the Centaur. Yao will be playing your TA mid. Faith on the Dazzle, and that does leave Sylar on the safe lane terribly.
Yeah, I think LGD should have the much more easy to execute lineup. They've got a lot of stuns. What they need to do is just keep the Terrorblade alive for as long as possible. To execute, it's pretty fairly straightforward and simple, right? And they just need to not let the Sand King get such a quick Blink Dagger and do whatever he wants on the map. Like, the faster this guy gets his Blink Dagger, that's kind of the timing for Vici Gaming. They don't really have a lot of initiation on their lineup. I think that's the only weak point for their lineup, really, is that if you look at it, FY is the only person that can really start the fights. Like, I guess you could... The Elder Titan is okay, but he needs to at least get, like, 2 levels of Echo Stomp, and you're going to skip that skill almost entirely in the early game.
Yeah, and of course with Metamorphosis, it's not going to be easy for Ice to stay in this lane. Your Stout Shield will help a bit, but he's going to be under the gun. For the time being, Sylar off with the Deny, and he's going to actually use the ability immediately, but Ice, looking to trade blows, will start clubbing him, and doing fairly effectively, even with that. He might want a little support before he uses it, so... Not really able to zone him out. The wave's going to be consistently dragged back. Ice constantly right-clicking the enemy Terrorblade and causing the creeps to pull towards this tower, and this will give him an early level 2, more or less, without contention. So LGD running dual lanes. It's something we've seen more in this patch, Blitz. Any particular reason why you think? Is it just rune control? Just certain heroes being played? What's your thoughts on that?
It's a good combination of everything. Because of the bounty rune, you can afford to do stuff like that. And because of where the tower is located, and just the general ability to juke, it's a little bit easier with the way that that things are rerouted to be safer. Especially with the way that the creeps meet up now, like in relation to the tower. So it's a lot safer. And I think it's just a smarter way to play. Like a Centaur's never going to get any farm if he's up there against a tri-lane by himself, right? But as soon as you put a Nyx up there, how do you contest both of them?
Yeah, you go on the Centaur, and then the Nyx just impales maybe Carapaces and runs in, and vice versa. He gets off a stomp, and Nyx is quite tanky. He's going to just start trading blows here with FY. Has an impale ready to go if need be. They're both just waiting for this rune. FY, he blows a Burrow Strike after that impale, so FY wins this small skirmish. But now it'll be Ice 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 who picks up a rune. Well, no, maybe not. Faith looking to deny this.
Eat the Tango.
Eat the tree!
Oh,
Eat
no.
the tree, my man.
And he's going to be
And then
able
he
to
eats
get it
the
to
other
Super.
tree. Oh, well.
Oh, no. He gets it to Super as well. That's the worst part about it.
I need the Kato Guy soundboard for the wah wah wah.
Yeah.
Wah.
I mean, the rune change is definitely such a huge thing because you have to secure both runes, right? Like, giving up a bounty rune isn't the best thing. And also giving up, like, I mean, if you're going to give up 2 runes to one side, like, that's absolutely huge. Imagine if you pick up something like a haste and a bounty rune. Like, that could be potentially game-changing.
They're trying to set up here top lane. Of course, LGD do know about this invis, but at the same time, MOY's not here. He's rotating towards bottom, so they're going to abandon the dual lane. They've gotten the Centaur's level 2. He has not taken a point in return yet, though. So they'll have an easier time harassing him and have plenty of nuke damage to make it happen. Mid lane, this was a matchup that you gave pretty heavily to the TA, especially if it's just left 1v1. And, well, Super is getting his farm from the lightning bolts. Or, sorry, not lightning bolts, the arc lightning, but I wanted to call it chain lightning, then I called it lightning bolts. Yeah.
I forget it's arc lightning all the time, too. Don't worry, man.
The shiny zapper thing. That's the spell name. But
I just call it a lightning, and hopefully people understand the context.
even though they're very different spells, but it's good enough.
I mean, he picked up the rune, the bounty rune, and Yao's had to use the bottle crow, but he's still winning the lineup or the matchup pretty handily. But that's not really what you want out of Zeus, right? Like, there's no real point in trying to get as much farm or trying to deny a TA farm. The point of Zeus is get your global presence up, get your level 6, and then it becomes so much easier for your supports to guarantee kills.
Yeah, you want to get the ult, and ideally along that line, get the Sandcade's Blink Dagger as well, but we might have a skirmish at this bottom rune. MMY and Faith in position. Super looking to contest this. It's the 2 solos duking it out with supports, and yeah, they don't really want to fight an Elder Titan Zeus with levels. So they're going to back off. He gets a double damage rune, and the bounty rune secured again by FY. It might seem like a small thing, but Vici Gaming are pretty consistently controlling these runes now. That's a total of 4 runes in the past couple spawns that they picked up exclusively.
Yeah, this is the only reason this mid matchup is somewhat close, is because Super keeps getting these runes, and they're being secured by Vici in time. Like, somebody from top just forces it to take, and so there's no way that Yao is going to be able to get a rune. So spamming Refract is a little bit difficult. And I think Super's actually doing pretty well in this matchup, all things considered. He's got 15 CS, he's getting pretty close to his level 6. I think a creep wave will do it. And then I think from there, Vici kind of have to get active on the map with the Skywrath. I think the Sand King should be stacking. Yeah, he's stacking this big camp over here too, so he's got a lot of ways to recover as well. And
But
I
they
think
are...
he just.
Oh, sorry, they are rotating.
Middle. I don't know if Injulai's the hero though to do it. I guess they're waiting for the level 6 on Yao.
He's got his boots, though, and Super's about to get caught. Oh, he runs to the south. Now, Injulai and Yao are kind of in each other's way, but Yao's a bit faster than Super. Extra 10 MS. Can't really do this alone, though, and will be forced back. I think what he was initially thinking was I should go check the Sand King's camps and try and, maybe mess him up, because he could be farming those. He's level 3 now, but... Well, hey, empty lane, bottom lane, and LGD say, great, you wanna park 3 heroes top? We're gonna try and push. And now heroes are rotating.
Oh, Super's at bottom though too.
He's got his ultimate ready. Nyx does have Carapace and... Oh no, sorry, actually just a wave short, or a few creeps, but they'll have the ult ready soon.
Yeah, and they actually rotate Fenrir mid. I like how that they always do this. They always give somebody on Vici, or Super is like the most selfless mid laner. He always gives his supports the lane. I mean, it's a Zeus. What is he gonna do? It's not like he can jungle, but he still gives the lane up to Fenrir just to get some extra levels so that he can get active on the map.
Yeah, they also just don't want to give Terrorblade an early tower. We've seen how hard this hero snowballs with some fast farm, and they're chasing out Faith now. They still don't have the ult. They're 1 creep short. They gotta find something. They don't even need it. Look at the damage from the natural order lightning bolt. That was like 3/4 of his health pool, and it's without even the level 4 lightning bolt. Oh, that's disgusting, man.
I thought he was gonna... He waited so long to skill that level 3 spell. Like, he had 1 in the Poison Touch and 1 in the Shadow Wave, and then he just decided to take another level of the Shadow Wave. Like, I think if he had Grave there, he would have lived, but it might not have mattered, because Super could have just picked up his level 6 mid. But Super's got Arcane Boots, so he's got no issues anymore for just spamming out that Arc Lightning. He should be fine. This TA is relatively underfarmed considering. Like, he's had most of the mid lane uncontested.
Yeah, it's not been as a one-sided of a match was what Yao would have hoped for. Now, to be fair, they did spend some time chasing the Zeus down the river. Zeus did get a double damage rune, get a bounty rune, and he's had some supports preventing the TA from getting those same runes. But all that said, it's still a matchup where TA is pretty much guaranteed every CS. Like, Zeus is not going to deny. All he can really do is last hit.
Yeah, and this Terrorblade is having a pretty good time of it right now. He's got 44 CS. He's just shy of the Slark. But the Slark is a hero that needs like a lot less farm.
How do you feel about the Midas on Black, by the way?
On Black? I was actually just about to mention that. I'm not the biggest fan, because I think that he can play a little bit more... I think this is a little bit too greedy, but it's just Black as a player. He likes the min-max. I guess the Midas is never going to be punished. This is a big thing, right? Because how are they going to ever kill a Slark with LGD's lineup? Sans Blink Dagger on both the Nyx and the Centaur. And the Centaur's not going to have it for at least like 5 or 6 minutes, so it's not like he needs to pick up drums or any sort of HP items early on to survive.
I'm actually a little worried for LGD, simply because FY is having such a good time. Like, he's already got level 6 at 8 minutes, 1,700 gold. Does he have another stack ready? Even that he has. It's Fenrir who's been... meanwhile on the river. Faith is being chased out by Ice. Will end up going down. Super, though, is the trade with a haste rune on Yao. He can go for an additional kill. One meld would probably do it. Oh, just short. Able to TP out. So they end up losing the Dazzle, but get the Zeus in exchange and almost kill off the Elder Titan in the process. So a win there for LGD, but I still feel with this Blink Dagger coming fast on the Sand King that could be the item that just breaks this game open for Vici.
It has to be. I think when he picks up the Epicenter charge, I think he should go for mid and kill Yao off. I think it's really simple too. The Epicenter will just take off all the ticks of Refract, and one Lightning Bolt should be able to do it. Like, I think with this first ultimate that the Sand King has, he has to go for a core. And I think it's a lot easier to set up on Yao. Because Yao's probably thinking to himself, what's going to kill me, right? Like, they don't really have any sort of way to close the distance. They don't have any ways to kill my Refract charges off, unless FY gets a Blink Dagger.
And I think it also goes to your point from the initial draft, not the remake draft, where you pointed out that once he gets a BKB, very difficult to deal with this TA. Whereas Terrorblade can go BKB, but it's not quite as impressive of like an early item for him. So you also have Elder Titan to largely deal with him. TA, that's not really going to be the case. If you don't shut this TA down, it could be a problem. And with a kill on the enemy Zeus, she's off to a really good start.
Yeah, it looks like LGD know that too, because they've devoted most of their... Oh, MMY just went down as we say that. But they devoted most of their efforts in trying to keep the TA alive, actually, instead of Sylar.
That's just ridiculous. Like, just to the Spirit walking into the tower, they're not committing any resources at all, and it's a Nyx, too. It's not the squishiest support hero, but he still just gets zapped.
Was this Spike Carapace on cooldown? I didn't actually see that. Like, he just went down so quickly.
I think he used it when the chase was coming from the Spirit. I'm not sure.
It's difficult to time that out, I guess, too.
Yeah, you don't know when the Zeus ult's coming. Unless you have eyes on him and you see him bringing down the Hellfire. But meanwhile, they're waiting. And they're going to find Ice here. Walking up the ramp and now Trap deployed. Is there any way for Ice to get out? No chance. Will end up going down. FY, Blake just now picked up. The next time that happens, this could go a lot differently.
Yeah, this TA, though, does have drums. She's relatively fat for a mid laner. She's got Treads, drums, and a wand already completed. And she's been pretty uncontested, so good levels as well. Not the most CS, actually. Only 50 at 10 minutes. It's a little bit under farm, but meanwhile, Sylar's got quite a lot of farm as well. He's got 1,700. I don't really know what the item is for this game. Maybe a Yasha and a BKB and mid.
Yeah, they're heading back, waiting for the Blink initiation. Go with the Mystic Flare, get the kill on the Centaur, and well, nowhere near a Blink Dagger. Just 300 gold on him, so a nice pick off. Meanwhile, your drums pick up on TA, just some good mid-game damage output, and it's probably the TA they would have rather had, but they'll still take a Centaur kill at this stage.
Yeah, the Centaur's not bad. Like, similar to Vici, LGD's only way of really gap closing is the Centaur with Blink Dagger or the Nyx with Blink Dagger. And the Nyx with Blink Dagger is even more unlikely than the Centaur. So if you're killing the Centaur and delaying that out, it's perfectly fine, I think. Especially since this SK's already got his. Like, he's gonna have 6 or 7 minutes of Blink Dagger where nobody else has one.
Zeus ult is up, and they've got the Blink ready to go. So expect to see another jump soon. Maybe it's bottom lane, although MMY's here invis, and This combo doesn't work if they're getting the jump on you, which MMY currently is looking for. Spirit will come through, affecting Sylar during this time, but they're going to stampede in, and they'll look to go on Ice Ice Ice. The Impale comes through. Is there going to be some sort of retaliation for this dive? No, nothing they can really do. And it's kind of a cute combo when you use that Spirit to set up a Thunderbolt, or not a Thunderbolt, a Thunder God's Wrath, but they need at least 2 Spirits to hit most heroes before they're low enough for that to work, and, well, it's not going to happen this time.
I'm curious to see why FY is actually sitting behind Black at top. Like I said, Black's the only hero in the game that really can't die. Like, it would take something insane for him not to be able to get the Shadow Dance off.
Ice Ice Ice, he's caught out again in the bottom lane! He gets melted! He had no backup whatsoever. Like, if
that's what I mean.
If
like, the Sand King should definitely be at bottom.
Yeah, if FY is parked behind him, that gets punished, but FY was not ready to help Ice Ice Ice. Either Ice 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 should not have defended that, or Sand King should have been there. But he's gonna go in now. He gets off the heal. There's a Sentry Ward ready, though. That's gonna cost FY's life. Vici Gaming just self-destructing. They are not on the same page. Now Black's gonna come in, but it's one at a time from them, and
oh, the tower's gonna go down.
This is a reverse of the last game, where they were actually playing as a team, but they're just playing solo Dota right now, not 5v5.
I'm not sure why the Sand King decided to go in there. Like, just giving a cursory glance at items, you would have seen that Faith had... I said Faith. Faith had the Sentry Ward. And there was, like, nobody ready to back somebody up. So that was just, I think, a misplay on both Ice 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 and FY's part. Like, neither of them should have been down there that deep.
Interesting move from Yao here. He's now dropping a trap in the big camp. Well, meanwhile, bottom lane, they go in with a Centaur Stampede, and an Impale to follow this one up onto Ice 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 again. He's gonna die. Ice 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 0-4, and it's not just the record, but the rate at which he's losing his life. Meanwhile, mid lane, they'll try to finish off Yao, and they succeed thanks to the Dark Pack chewing through those refraction charges. And then back to bottom, where they jump in on a silo, the Mystic Flare thrown out. Vici Gaming, I think somebody just yelled at their teammates and slapped them around, because now suddenly they're back on track.
Yeah, those 2 pickup kills were absolutely huge. I think Yao, it was kind of difficult for him to see that the Slark Blink Dagger timing coming. That was just a really good rotation by Black. But I think Sylar should have known at bottom that it was a little bit unsafe. Like, they just killed Ice Ice Ice, and then he showed himself on the lane for that long. Like, if he had just gone to the jungle and scouted out with illusions, he should have been fine. But a good overall rotation by Vici, and this is what they need to do. Just kill out the cores as many times as you possibly can. Delay the BKB on the TA to the point where it doesn't matter. Get some 4 staffs on your heroes. Like, if Sand King picks up a 4 staff and Zeus at one point...
Oh, Faith, you're done. You're done. Spirit comes in. The Burrow Strike's there. 1 zap to rule them all. That's... How do you defend your towers against this? Like, if you let them get these 3 Blink Daggers, how do you stand anywhere in, like, this area? They could just jump you instantly.
It just has to come down to the Dazzle being in better position to grave.
Well, Yao's not in a great position here. Caught up by the refraction. Well, the Dark Pack, rather, to remove that refraction. FY... He just retreats out and they melt 1. Killing off the Centaur. Now looking for Yao. Refraction once again removed. Even after the fresh set of charges. Burrow Strike. Yep. See you later. They'll lose another. They'll have the Nyx to fall. 3 down. Vici Gaming with the 3 Blink Daggers. This is just disgustingly strong all of a sudden.
That bolt, like, the Centaur had 500 health and he died. Like, that was amazing to me.
He did
I totally
1470 damage in that fight, according to the fight recap. And that's without the ultimate.
I'm not sure why LGD are fighting like this, too. Because you know that this is what Vici are going to do. They have so many gap closers. They've got 2 Blink Daggers now. Like, why... Or actually 3. The Zeus one isn't as big, but... Like, why? Why stand right next to the tower, not as 5, ready to, like, fight? Especially when your heroes are already so low. Like, in a 5-on-5 situation, you're always going to lose the fight. Like, Sand King didn't even have to epicenter there. I don't even think Thunder God's Wrath was blown either, and the fight still went that one-sided.
Long
I think that's
range,
just a mistake on LGD.
Smoke initiation, and they go into Ice Ice Ice. They'll kill him off with the Stampede. The Nyx pick has been largely working out for them. It's 0-2, but MMY's been involved in 5 kills, and more importantly, he's just crushed this Elder Titan. The unfortunate thing is that the offlaner they're ganking doesn't particularly need farm. All he really needs is levels, and he's still getting those. He's hit level 9, he does need the Earth Splitter, but it's mainly just Azara that they're worried about, and it's now max rank. Yeah,
I mean, they have 7 kills. It's not bad, but look at who they're getting kills on. Like the Elder Titan is not that big of a priority target anymore. He's only level 9. It's not like he's got a lot of gold saved in the bank. Once he gets a mech, that's pretty much all the farm that he's really expecting to get this game. Like that's not really the hero that you want to like blow that much time or effort on.
Yeah, FY will continue his farm now. He's gone back for the Arcane Boot, so he's got a decent mana pool to work with. I am looking for the next step for Vici Gaming now, Blitz, and I'm sure a lot of other people are wondering. Like, they've gotten a lot of early kills. Gold-wise, they're up 4,000 gold. They have a Midas on black, but he's a Slark. He's picked up a gem for map control. And experience, they're leading by 3,000. So it's a pretty good start for them. But this lineup doesn't take towers that well. They don't take Roche that well. Do they just keep on getting kills? Like, where do you go from here after this good early start?
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to go for. And look at this, at black, they're going to pick off Sylar in the jungle. Like, it blows my mind that this is working, but they're going to actually engage back.
Oh, they used the Zeus ultimate. They had the Spirit going during that time. Ice slow down. Black with a pretty ineffective Dark Pack, but that's got a low cooldown. He can go in again. Burrow Strike. That one's much more so. Hits 2. MMY trying to counter this with the Impale going the other direction. Now he heads to the left. Angelai to the right, but nobody's running. You can't run from heaven, says Super. Merlini, stop playing Path of Exile. Start watching Vici Gaming. Zeus is back, and you're missing the train. 14 to 8 now the score.
They knew that fight was going to go miserably, and they still stepped into that. That blows my mind. Like, your major damage dealer, your Terrorblade, went down so quickly. Like, you saw that happen, not 2 feet away from you, and you still go in. Like, they were smoked up. They could have just ran back and said, okay, our Terrorblade died in the jungle. Like, that's fine. And Vici even had, like, the better positioning with the ward vision. They saw everything that was moving forward, and it made...
Happy onto Yao, caught out with Black here to join him. But still, Refraction ready, and he's actually completely fine thanks to this Dazzle. FY might pay for his insolence. Tries to retreat through the trees, juking here and there, but with the Urn on him, yeah, there's no blink out. He'll Burrow Strike in instead, just at least try to get something in return, but he will end up going down.
Yeah, there's no way they should have engaged into that. Like, they knew that...
They're getting a little cocky after these past few kills.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to fight that. And like you said, LD, like, that was really on point. They can't push towers. They're not going to Roshan particularly quickly. So the only thing you have to worry about are the team fights early on and getting picked off. And like knowing that LGD still kind of group up in a poor position and just take such a bad fight.
They're going to try and defend this tower, though. The tower will end up falling, but Black jumps in. The Zeus ult's ready. Thunder God's Wrath now out. Yao trying to fight it out, but he gets bolted. He gets focused. He's dropping very low to this damage. Black's going to pursue him out, finishes him off, and the chase ain't over yet. There's so many Blink Daggers. You simply can't escape Super. He finds everyone. 10, 1, and 7. They have 17 kills, and guess who's been a part of every single one? Zeus.
Yeah, he's got his Force Staff as well with the Blink Dagger, and that was the big item I was waiting for. This means that Yao is just going to get kited to death. Like, the BKB timing is so late for him, especially since he's just been getting continuously picked off by Black, and even when FY is unable to kill him, he's still putting pressure on the map. I think LGD are just taking these fights a little bit too poorly. They were doing fine too, which was the crazy part. Like, Yao had these kinds of items almost 7 or 8 minutes ago, and Sylar had like pretty much a Manta like 5 minutes ago. They should have been okay, but they're just kind of blowing it right now.
So what is going to happen when they do get their BKBs? How much does that change the game for LGD? Because Sylar has an Ogre Club and 1,000 gold. He's pretty close. And even closer is your Templar Assassin, who has the Recipe, the Ogre Club, and 500 gold. So they need like 1,100 on the TA, a little bit more on the Terrorblade. How much does this change the game for you, and what should Vici Gaming do to react to it? Because at some point, they're going to get these BKBs.
Yeah, I think early on, it's going to be really effective, because team fighting against like 3 BKBs when you're relying on a hero like Zeus to put out most of your damage is fantastic. The issue is that there's just so many ways for Vici to kite in a mid.
Watch for the Epi, it's through on 2! Look at him melt! Zeus ult came out. A little bit of animation lag from Perfect World, but that setup from FY was, well, just perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a Blink Dagger on a Sand King, it doesn't really matter if you have a BKB if you can't spot the initiation coming. Because look how quickly they died. Like, they died before the stun timer was done. So it's not like even if you have a BKB, things change in that situation.
That was like a slight jinx for me. As soon as I start talking about the BKBs and say they're going to get them, then they die and delay them. At least on the TA. And they'll slowly just, you know, plink away at this tower.
The DD Zeus.
Yes. This is most of their damage. This is probably most of their physical damage. It's almost double Blacks even. But not enough.
I still don't know how Vici continuously do this. Like last game, didn't have a pushing lineup, still out push. In this game, they're doing it again.
And they will kill off the ward now. So I will say one other thing that has been very good for Vici is the gem on black. He's very elusive, difficult to kill with the blink drums, and the lack of like proper lockdown for a Slark. There's no Doom here. Nothing that could really keep him out of the fights, and so he's been able to walk around their jungle, keep LGD in the dark, and it's one of the reasons why we see initiations like this working. You know, they never know where the Sand King's coming from, and a lot of it comes down to the gem.
Yeah, and on top of that, like you brought up the BKB point. Early, it might be a little bit effective, but Vici just has such a mobile lineup. With the Sand King having the Blink Dagger, he's going to get maybe a Force Staff at some point soon, maybe a Veil. Doesn't really matter. Just the Blink Dagger and his Burrow Strike enough make him really mobile. There's a Blink Dagger and a Force Staff on the Zeus.
Oh, ice. They just Zeus ulted to protect him. I think they're.
He would have died again too. That was the sad part.
They should really bait him at some point this game because LGD just see Ice.
It's the only person they can kill.
He's 1-6. I mean, you see Ice. It's like, okay, that's like going right back to the rigged slot machines. We're gonna get the rolls we want out of this, but
it's not the hero that you want to go for, and they still continually go for him. And I guess like that's the target on the map, but I think LGD are like quickly running out of options right now. BKBs are great, but if you're gonna get out mobilitied by the Slark and the Sand King and the Zeus, it's not really gonna matter too much. Like the Zeus has so much mobility at this point. He's almost got an Aghanims as well too, so he's gonna be really tanky on top of that. But he can wait out the BKB fight.
I have rarely seen a Zeus this stack, to be honest, in a professional game.
It's 23 minutes in, and he's got an Aghs Blink Dagger Force Staff. Are you kidding me?
It's pretty disgusting, man. And he was laning against the TA, which is not one of Zeus's. Granted, he loses most lanes, but it's definitely not an easy matchup for him by any means.
It's just the fact that he's never died. Like, his positioning has been so good this game.
Yeah, and they just didn't punish him very much. They're like, okay, we have a Terrorblade TA. We could just trade farm. I think that was the feeling from LGD. We don't have to worry about the Zeus.
But they took so many... That mid-fight, that was the worst idea ever. Like, they could have just lost Sylar. They would have been behind, like, 4 kills. Like, sure, Sylar dies, but he had so much farm at that point, right? Like, he was 2-0 or something. You're perfectly okay with that trade. But then they went in and threw 4 heroes at Vici, and they traded, like, 5 for 1 or something stupid.
Okay, double BKB. This is going to be it for LGD. But I think it is worth reiterating what you said. If there's a good Burrow Strike, this may not matter, and it's relevant because FY's in position with Black in the front lines to give vision, and it's daytime, and they've got an Observer Ward on this hill. So wisely, LGD just say, we're not leaving this area.
Finally, they decide not to defend the tower, because there's no way that they're going to defend these towers at this point. Not with the amount of vision that Vici have, and the biggest thing too is, like you said, with
Sylar?
the gem. Okay, he popped his BKB. Alright.
And they saw it too, because he was at the wave. Oh my.
Oh no. That's a 10-second BKB charge. And I think they keep going with this too, now that that's down. I guess they can back up and take Roche.
It's down for 70 seconds. Yeah, that's... If LGD want to contest that, it's going to be very difficult.
Oh man. That was we just talked about how important that first
The Jinx!
timing
The
window.
Jinx is strong, Will. I have a Jinx problem. Like, everyone on the Team Liquid live report thread flames me now. Because anytime, like, okay, this definitely won't happen, it happens, or...
I mean, it's Sylar. How many times are you going to see him...
That's like, probably, like, the fifth... Like, that's probably, like, less... He's probably done it less than 10 times in his professional career, like, ever misclick, like, a crucial item like a BKB. For no reason at all.
Oh, that's absolutely brutal. They needed that so badly, too. They need the full the 10 seconds. Like, it might not seem like that much, that 1 second. But when you've got Blink Dagger and 4 staffs aplenty, and you've got a Slark on the other team, you need like as much of a charge as you can possibly get.
This Slark has a Scotty. I mean, we haven't talked much about Black, and I think fairly so, because he just got a Midas and he's been farming on Slark for 26 minutes, but yeah, now he becomes pretty relevant with this. He's got an Eye of Scotty, and this really gives the TA problems in the fight. Your BKB is not going to save you when you're constantly being just slowed, and your agility stolen and harassed down. And Black will now lunge in onto Yao, looking for the jump in, refraction broken, just forced to blink out. No, doesn't get out. Yao didn't BKB. He thought it was just the Slark, and he was very wrong about that.
You don't want to pop your BKB there. That would have been 2 10-second BKB charges gone on LGD for absolutely nothing. I think that death might almost be worth it, because it's not like Yao is going to go for another item. But the window of opportunity is like rapidly closing for LGD. They got both their BKBs. One of them was used accidentally. The TA got picked off without using hers. I don't know, man.
I'll be honest, Blitz. I don't know how long this has been out, but Ice 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 has some Hanamitis, and
Oh, he just got it.
okay,
I mean, that had to come after the mech. It was like a
this is
25
fairly
minute.
recent. Sylar. Nope, there's another BKB too. Oh, no. These BKB charges are dropping.
Can't do this.
The BKB is not the comeback mechanic, apparently.
This is not happening, man. That's not what you.
It's the saddest way to see a team lose too. Like, oh my.
I mean, obviously he has to BKB there to get out, but at the same time, that's 2 seconds already gone on your BKB for absolutely nothing.
And they're not even having to work for this. Like, Black just pokes his face out and they just BKB and TP away.
I mean, he has to, because he saw what happened to Yao when he tried risking it.
Yeah, so now they've decided we can never take any risk this game, and it sucks. It just sucks to be LGD right now.
Yeah, this is not what you want to do at this point in the game. You don't want to be wasting BKB charges on non-fights. But what are you to do, right? LGD, if you're this far behind in the game, you have to take farming risks. Like, this is the only thing Sylar can do. He has to chance the split push, but you just have to do a little bit more safely. But the problem is that once the gem came out on Black, it's impossible to get wards out. So Sylar is doing all of this blind. Like, that gem pickup was the best thing that ever happened to Vici. Like, it completely denied all of LGD's vision. They have no idea what's going on right now. They have to place this ward in the jungle, which honestly isn't too effective at this point in the game.
Yeah, that's like, you're running a Terror Blade and a TA who's got decent farm. You want to be aggressively split pushing, and ideally you want it to be not risky. They're just gonna Zeus ult here. Is anyone...
He keeps doing that, which I think is actually really smart.
Inchulai was pretty low, but yeah, they didn't have any follow-up. It's got a low cooldown now. That was something that was changed, like, I don't know, 9 months ago, maybe? Fairly recently. And you can afford to just kind of spam it if you know you're not going to fight in the next minute and a half or so.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way that they're going to lose. If Super and Fenrir and FY get picked off there, and then the Terrorblade goes crazy and decides to push 2 towers, and that's the comeback mechanic.
FY will lead the way, and MMY reveals himself. Oh, now you're trapped. Burrow Strike. See ya. It's that easy. Ancient Seal. They didn't even have the Elder Titan Spirit there. That's busy defending the top push, which, to be fair, is building up here a bit. There's 3 ranged illusions and the main hero, but they're looking at bigger objectives, perhaps. Rotating around with Fenrir. He'll get an Observer Round on the high ground, and Vici Gaming perhaps look for the high ground push. That's a Shiva's guard at 29 minutes on FY. And they're gonna start just smacking towers. They're pushing with the Slark solo, and they blink in with Super. He blinks onto a Centaur. My god, you know you're far ahead when, or at least that's how they feel. Vici Gaming, 4 heroes. They'll end up getting the kill. They're all just... They're living in their kitchen. LGD, just they're getting evicted from their
They do so
home.
little damage to that tower.
That is true. They push like ass, but they get kills really well.
Does it really matter when you're able to dive a Centaur by his base?
That was not FY's best Burrow Strike, but it seems he'll be okay even so. Maybe not Sylar, though. Black leaping in with the Eye of Scotty goes to work. Gets caught out. BKB forced out. And they grave Sylar while he was BKB'd. Super retreating. Earn. Gonna be enough to save him for now, but they may lose Black. Leaps ready in 5. Blinks out. Zeus ult was deployed to cancel any further retreat or any further chase. And Super will barely survive. Black will as well. And Black will be back to full HP. Super still has an Aegis. Buyback status for the Radiant. Not looking the best. They're just going to lose Faith, who found himself in the middle of nowhere against the Sand King. Which is to say at his own tier 3 tower.
That was what I was talking about, though. The Grave Sunder. It just didn't matter at all because Black's invincible.
Burrow on 2. Another great jump in from FY. Who else to do it? In July Silence. Zapped down and just instantly dealt with by the Mystic Flare. Super's ult is already halfway cooled down. They're going to look to take their first slate of racks here. Casual. I don't know if it's a celebration epi. I think his Blink.
He had Blink up, and he saw the TA. That was the celebration ult.
Maybe he just forgot to. You lost. Well, LGD not a green yet, but they're dying like they might as well have. Sylar forced off this tower. They can't even kill a Zeus, who normally is pretty squishy with a Terror Blade, but they're diving them to the well. Vici Gaming smacking LGD down. Not even, they're playing with their food, then they're throwing it on the counter. It's like a baby that just doesn't want to have those little, I don't know, whatever those little cups of like, what do you call it?
Where are you going with
baby
this,
nutrition?
You were on such a good roll and then it just ended.
Well, that's how I feel for LGD right now.
Yeah, they
had a good start, and then now they're just feeding their courier mid lane. I mean, why not?
That was a good start too. I mean, Sylar got pretty huge. They picked off Ice 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 like 4 times in a row. They got 2 towers at bottom. Remember, FY messed up as well when Ice 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 died, and then he died blinking in and burrowing right next to all of Vici. That should have been how they got like into the game, and they had a decent lead with this, but now it's just all falling apart.
BKB
There's way too much mobility.
Stampede. Focus onto FY here. He's taking good damage. He will go down to the Terrorblade. Now, yeah, it's a double BKB. They'll get 2 kills. Looking for more. Black on the retreat out. He leaps forward. Earn to Fenrir as he tries to retreat as well. And they head up to the high ground, but, well, not sure if it's going to be enough. The chase is on. The trap is in. And Fenrir, no Ghost Scepter. Can't get out. Will end up going down. That's a mega kill streak fed the other way.
The Terrorblade just got like 3k gold. He got like the 12 kill streak for the ZEEUS. And he was there for that. And he picked up FY's dominating. Like, he's got 4.3k all of a sudden.
They are down 1 lane of Rex, though. And they're also down 2 buybacks. Oh, actually, 3 buybacks. And what are their BKB charges at? 8 seconds of TA. That's actually fairly healthy. Your Terrorblade down to 6 seconds.
Yeah, but they also just fed a Scotty to Sylar if he wants to get it right now. I don't know if that was the best idea.
At the same time, I guess we should look at what do Vici Gaming have. If they picked anything else up, ZEEUS has 4.2k. Could get a Hex, could get a Refresher. Ice 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 is building this Hex. Yeah, and Black's just farming in the woods. You really can't be off on your own.
He can't survive. With the Gem and the Blink Dagger, Nyx against the Slark, he's always just going to Dark Pact off your Spiked Carapace and your Reflect. Like, there's no way for him to survive at that point.
Yeah, that's the big thing is you can normally just Impale and then run and blink out, but not against Dark Pact. And you see that coming generally, unless he ambushes you from the trees with a Blink Impale. Well, I still would say pretty big advantage for Vici. I'm sure you'd agree with that, but
Understatement of the century, yes.
It's possible to throw this one.
I mean, it is with that. You don't want to give the Terrorblade more of that.
Like there are some games that just really can't be thrown unless you send 5 heroes directly into the fountain until the game ends.
I mean, LGD have the kind of lineup to come back. They just don't have the items right now. Like, the Nyx needs a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff to save his team. The Centaur is just so poor. Like, all he's got is a Blink Dagger. He got a Buckler thinking he was going to be able to pick up something at some point with that.
Casual Stampede.
Okay, that was definitely a misclick. Like, there was no need for that.
What is going on with LGD? Casual BKBs, casual Stampedes,
I was
down
just
the
about
lane
to
of
say
Rex.
they needed that to fight.
Yeah, well, Vici Gaming seem to think so as well, because they're pushing in right now.
Yeah, you need to... The Stampede is how you close distance with the BKBs at this point in the game. Like, otherwise, the charges are kind of just worthless, because you're going to Force Staff out. You can't waste any second of that.
Trap on the low ground, just trying to slow down the creep wave, but Black will march in. FY threatening for a jump in as well. He's got a blink forward, so he can jump in, jump past the hero with the blink, burrow strike towards the retreat, and then Force Staff out, but... Yeah, even with that mobility, he's fine to just chill, and I think they're looking at this next Roche now. About a minute to go, they're probably saying, we have heroes that are squishy, as much as... It's kind of a lineup of glass cannons outside of Black. I think if they get caught, they do drop pretty quickly.
Man, Black's got a Butterfly as well. He's got a Scotty, he's got so much farm. This Terrorblade, that is the hero that is going to be able to let you get back in the game. Like, he's dominant right now in last hits. And in net worth, he's not too far behind at all. All things considered, he's really close to the Slark, actually. And Terrorblade offers you so much in teamfights with this amount of net worth. Like, if he were to get one more major item, this game could start to turn a little bit more dangerous for Vici. That's
true. MMY wants to make it a turnaround now. He's under cover of Vendetta. Making
they see him too.
Looking for FY. He's got a Haste Turn, a Force Staff, and a Blink Dagger. This is not an easy kill, but, well, that'll help. Instant stuns. Alright, no Haste Turn for you. At least he didn't waste it, I suppose. And he lost the gem as well. Oh, man,
that's the biggest thing that he lost right there.
Stop stealing my lines. Come on, Will.
Alright, dude, I got you.
Alright, so LGD, what's their game plan from here? They now... ZEEUS Refresher's out. It's a level 3 Aghanim's ultimate. So you're looking at...
Yow. That's another BKB charge.
It almost doesn't matter. The good
really
thing is
doesn't.
if you fuck it up enough, then it just stops mattering.
It really doesn't. Like, who cares, man? We're close enough to 5 seconds more than 10 at this point.
Might as well
nobody's gonna know.
Just plummet down as quickly as possible, you know?
Yeah, at that point, there's no expectations, right? But I mean, LGD, just keep doing your thing and look like you're further behind than you are, and hopefully Vichy just continues to throw themselves at you. Like this strat's working pretty well. Like the wounded dog, you know, just pretend like you're hurt.
Is this your pub tactics? Well,
It's kind of working out. Like Sylar would not have that Scotty without the benefit of two heroes that had like godlike streaks running at him and dying. Like look how difficult this game now is for Vichy.
I like how Super is just like, you know what? I'm the god of lightning, bitches.
Yeah,
don't
he's just throwing
don't
out
you
that ult
forget it.
whatever he wants.
They had vision on a few heroes too, and the waves were pushed in. Like,
Yeah, there's no reason to use that. It's just like a friendly reminder thing.
almost as good as the zoning epicenter. I wonder if this team is getting a little cocky, because VG Gaming, like when they win, it's not in a normal, like safe, standard way. Like
They can't accept the win, man. They have to win in style.
I know, which everyone loves them for it, but I wonder if it will come to haunt them at some point.
I mean, if LGD hadn't made as many mistakes as they had early, maybe. But then on the flip side, maybe Vichy wouldn't have gone as hard as they did, knowing that fact.
Strike will find out MMY. He tried to run an invis, gets caught out, and wound up going down. So Vichy get me pushed in the bottom lane now.
Yeah, they have to. The Stampede's down. Nyx is dead as well. I mean, Nyx doesn't really have anything, but it is still a body that you can throw at them.
FYD warding, and did they try to force the issue?
The only problem for Vichy right now is they don't really have a way to like safely siege the tower. They don't have necro books. I guess Black's pretty unkillable, and that's what you're gonna do. Just send him up there to right click. I think they have they have 4 staffs aplenty, so he shouldn't die. But still, it's not an ideal way to push a tower.
This is given time for the double Thunder God's Wrath to cool down. The first one used now. LGD will be forced off a bit, and then
That almost killed Faith. He had to grave himself.
He committed the second ult for that, but it forces LGD back long enough just to take the Rex. So it's actually a real zoning ultimate from him. Now Gingerline jumping, he gets caught by a burst strike, a silence as well. Yao charging forth. The decent Earth Splitter from Ice Ice Ice, but not sure if it's enough. Black actually taking pretty good damage. Now popping the ultimate, turning onto Yao and trying to bring him down. The epicenter from FY. The Grave! The Grave keeps Sylar alive. He doesn't have the ultimate. He's silenced. Get that ult off. No, he can't do it. Oh, so close, so far. Super just lunges right back in. It could have been so different if he gets off that Sunder.
There, that would have actually been the fight. Like, they would have won another fight in a row, and he wouldn't have had to use buyback. He would have had a major item right there. Like, that definitely would have been the game. Or, not the game, but the fight, I mean. And that could have been the game. Like, oh god, the silence was like... literally had half a second left. That's so depressing.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. And it forces out a buyback on a core hero as well. If he dies another time, he's going to be out of the game for far too long to defend the base. Vichy Gaming now working on the Roshan. It's still just Aegis, but they're going to claim it easily. They've been giving it to Super. Let's see if they do that again.
I can't believe Black didn't die there. Like, he went into the middle of all of them with no ultimate up, no Dark Pact up, his leap was on cooldown as well, and he still manages to get out. That's a terrible sign for them at this point. And he just casually dropped his drums. Like, please sell it at least.
Okay, there was a week ago or so, I cast like 3 games in a row where players would just drop the Ring of Aquila and like 20, 30 minutes later, because this was right when 6.82 came out, right? So, the games go like 80 minutes on average. And the Ring of Aquila would still be there, and their teammates would just be painting it out wildly. You know what I think he's doing? He's just like, I have Refresher, if I see someone low enough to kill, I'm just gonna use the second ult actually. Yeah, get the kill.
I mean, but the Refresher's down right now, so what's the point of doing that?
Oh, it's still cooling down. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's just casual ulting then.
Yeah, there's just casually ult. I mean, it's worth it for the vision. Like, at bottom, the Slark was kind of unawares of where everybody was, but then it revealed that the Nyx was there, and Black got out really quickly. And Black actually just finishes Abyssal Blade 2. So that's just another disable added for Vichy. Man, I really wish I could have seen what this game would have looked like if he was able to get that Sunder off.
Well, that's actually what they have the, what's it called, the takeover feature for? Does anyone actually do that?
No, there's no way, but...
It's too much work to get 10 people to, hey, let's take over this. Maybe for a TI game, but outside of that, it's just not going to happen.
That would have been awesome, though. If he was able to get the Sunder off on, like, Super Firm, for example, could you imagine that fight would have turned around so quickly? And it would have been a terrible getting all of that money as well.
Yeah, Sylar at that point doesn't buy back, so he has He has buyback ready if VG Gaming try to go again, and he's got another item, or
Yeah.
the buyback just waiting.
That's the largest thing. Just the fact that he doesn't have buyback for this next death push, and meanwhile Black's got an Aegis as well.
All right,
Like,
death
that
push
might
is a
have way too
strong
many.
word for VG Gaming's pushback.
This is about as death push as it gets. They've got double Zeus ult up. They've got an Abyssal Blade and an Aegis on their Slark. This is about as good of a time as any to go in.
For their lineup, yeah, I definitely agree with that. MMY throws out Impale. He carapaces to cover a safe retreat. Now the Zeus ult comes through. Insta-grave from Faith, and wisely so, but Stomp will still fight MMY, but Faith able to heal him. Great defensive play from Deficit, but still goes down to FY, who came in deep with the Blink Burrow Strike, but it's all about the racks. VG Gaming focusing objectives. No more taunting now from them. As Black gets caught up by Impale, and in July jumps back in. This Terrorblade can't afford to die. If he comes in the fight and does, they're out of it, as he won't have a buyback ready. Burrow Straight coming through. That's on pretty much everything. FY again. He stands and delivers. That Super joining the fight. This Zeus is looking like a Lord of Lightning. If only he could grow a few inches more. They'll lose their Terrorblade. Then the Epi farming them near the well. That'll bring down 4. Buyback check, 0. 4 heroes dead. GG. VG Gaming stay alive, and LGD are out of WCA.
Man, FY played this game so beautifully. I know people are just gonna look at the scores and say like, "Wow, Fenrir and Super, they're 9-1 and 16-2 respectively." But this guy completely set the tone of the game for Vici. The amount of pickoffs he was able to get just by himself and setting up around the map. I mean, FY, that Sand King was beautiful.
This isn't even, it's not, I look at this game like, it was like an average FY game, you know? It wasn't even that great by FY standards, but it definitely was a great performance.
Yeah, just they executed their lineup so well, and LGD didn't. There's just so many fights in a row that they took that could have gone a different way.
They really take advantage of Elder Titan as a hero. We've seen so many cool combos out of them as of late, and well, the Zeus Elder Titan is certainly a scary one. I wonder if we'll see more of it moving forward. Like, you don't have to be banning this. You don't have to be banning Zeus or Elder Titan, you know? It's not a good way to approach a draft.
It looked like LGD were doing fine, is the thing. Like, they were doing pretty good against the lineup. They picked off Ice 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 like 6 times in a row. Just that fight by their tier 1 where Sylar died and then they threw away 4 lives on top of that.
All right, Blitz. Well, that wraps up VG Gaming versus LGD. Before we call it a series, any shout-outs or closing words? No more middle stall stories.
Dude, you were the one that told me to tell that.
I didn't know what I was getting myself into, though.
I guess I should put a disclaimer in the future. I don't know. Thanks to everybody that sent me really nice messages after the blog, and for everybody that said blog boys. It was pretty entertaining. Shout out to my mom. I got her a waffle for her birthday, or like a waffle maker.
I was gonna say, how do you like get your mom a waffle? Are you just gonna like bring it back from Korea and hope that she eats it?
I mean, pretty
it's like
much.
A month old. Are you trying to kill your mom, Will?
Not this way.
All right, we're done here. We do have more games coming up, though. WCA will continue in a few minutes' time. Guys, be sure to follow him at Blitz_Dota. And,
oh, that's what I was supposed to mention.
Yeah, you're bad at shouting yourself out. It's okay, though. We still love you. And, well, congratulations, Avicii. They stay alive. They'll be playing Cloud9 next, I believe. That series coming soon. Stay with us.